top 5 mythical creatures that actually existed. Dire wolves. Dire wolves have been popularly seen in Dungeons & Dragons and the famous series Game of Thrones. Here they have been depicted as gigantic wolves that can easily take down a large man. Dire wolves have been described as hard to train and vicious, but the myth of these animals is far from what reality depicts. Dire wolves actually existed but went extinct nearly 9,500 years ago, when the last ice age came to an end. They weren't the gigantic monsters that today's shows tell us, but they were relatively big animals. Most studied specimens have shown that the dire wolves are approximately the same size as the modern grey wolves. Dire wolves were very capable predators and had the strongest bite force of all Canis species. This made it possible to prey on bison, mastodon, camels, and even humans during the Ice Age. The tales of their ferocity have given birth to the mythological abilities that they have today, even though they are long gone. Dragons. Dragons have been one of the most prevalent creatures in all of mythology. They have been depicted in numerous ways throughout Europe, Africa, and Asia, and some of the earliest examples have included Apep from ancient Egyptian mythology and the dragon from Beowulf. Every depiction has stated a dragon being a large serpentine creature with 2 wings and 4 legs. And in all cases, the dragons can fly, and some even breathe fire. However, there hasn't been a scholarly consensus with regard to how cultures from across the world came up with dragons. There have been several theories that suggest ancient people discovered dinosaur fossils which were an inspiration for these enormous creatures. But, it didn't necessarily have to be dinosaur fossils that provided all of the inspiration for these mythical creatures. Several bones of misunderstood animals that went extinct at the time could have led to very similar conclusions. Contemporary animals such as iguanas, Komodo dragons, alligators and other large reptiles could have easily served as a source for dragon inspiration. Griffins. The griffin is a magnificent mythological creature with the tail, body, and hind legs of a lion, while it has the 4 legs, wings, and head of an eagle. Griffins have often been depicted as honorable guardians of important treasures and artifacts. As the myth kept on developing throughout the medieval period, it soon evolved into a Christian symbol of divine strength. This was then used as a guardian of the divine. Symbols of these magnificent creatures can be found throughout North Africa, Europe, and Asia. The earliest examples have been found in the Egyptian city of Hierakonpolis, which dates back to 3300 and 3100 BCE. Like many of the mythological creatures in existence, the griffin may have also been a product of dinosaur fossil finds. Scythian nomads of Central Asia could have discovered Protoceratops fossils, which may have given them the impression of an ancient flying animal. However, Protoceratops weren't avian dinosaurs, but if those unfamiliar with dinosaurs discovered these bones thousands of years ago, it would certainly make sense for the myth of the griffin to follow. The skull had a beak-like snout that almost appeared bird-like, and the animal was approximately the same size as a lion. Kraken. The Kraken is a mythical mighty creature that lives deep beneath the sea and pulls ships into the depths with powerful tentacles. Tales of the mighty Kraken can be found in European literature, where is it often described as a gigantic creature that resembles a floating island. For millennia, sailors have been describing strange creatures that may or may not resemble the Kraken. Most of these creatures described have proved to be wildly inaccurate but not completely false. The Kraken can reportedly reach lengths of nearly 33 feet and can weigh 1,500 pounds. They are said to have strong tentacles that are filled with suction cups like an octopus or squid. However, they also feature large hooked claws that give it a grabbing advantage over any other creature of its kind. These animals have been known for nearly 1,000 years, but their earliest description was in 1925. The first live specimen was said to have been captured only in 2007. The tales of the mighty tentacles on the kraken likely gave birth to this myth, as they have washed ashore throughout history. Unicorns. Unicorns are by far the most popular mythological creatures that could have ever existed. They are described as white horses with horns sticking out of their foreheads. Unicorns have often been associated with magic. The popular myth of the unicorn has greatly evolved over time from several descriptions of real animals. The most plausible source in European history has stemmed from the description of the rhinoceros by Pliny the Elder. In the 1st century CE, he wrote that the creature had the feet of an elephant, the tail of a boar, and the head of a stag. He also stated that it had a single black horn that projected from the middle of its forehead. As time passed, the description morphed into tall tales of the unicorn. There was another source in Europe that further pushed the belief into this majestic creature. Norse Vikings would transport narwhal tusks to Europe and sell them as unicorn horns. As people had never seen a narwhal or a unicorn, people kept trading these unicorn horns for centuries.